Follow us along the production, content, interactive path of a bottle of wine. Winestar, mywineglass.com, WineSpace, and your own cell phone. But first, allow us to introduce Winestar, sprouting from the vines of Napa Valley, for your early eyeballs only.
Great winemakers of the world, what they're really trying to do is to simply take great vineyards, produce really great wine grapes in it, and then do everything they can to not mess it up.
There's a really beautiful rhythm to it. You're cold in the winter because you're outside every day in the winter pruning.
Right.
And you're hot in the summer because you're outside working on the fruit, you know?
I want to make the best wine in the world, and I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how much I make. I just want it to be great.
You know, you have one time per year to do it. Right. You have one shot, unless you go to the southern hemisphere.
Right.
So you do everything right because you only have that one shot.
We want to just take what Mother Nature's given us and do what we can with what little resources we have.
It attracts a very unusual group of people. I mean, you see someone like Abe, who's a fantastic character.
My sense when I moved here is that there was a shocking number of people making small amounts of wine on their own. I didn't know that was possible. I thought in order to make wine, you had to either own Luna or to be the winemaker there.
There's a lot of kind of big vineyards, and most of these small, cool guys don't have enough money to have their own vineyards and wineries. So they all go purchase fruit from other people.
People really talk about food and wine, and they take it very, very seriously here.
You know, Napa's Hollywood. I mean, if you want to be a star, you got to be working in Hollywood.
The more people learn about wine, the more they get excited about it, the more they appreciate what it is in the glass, and you know, it becomes more of a kind of a sense of a place. You know, we think about wine much different than a lot of other beverages in the sense that we actually want to talk about it because it'll stir something up in us.
The terroir is all those facets that actually influence the vineyard. The soil itself, the orientation of the site matters. What's the average rainfall, and then you can go on to what's the general environment around it.
I mean, it's a lot like a cook. You take 10 cooks and you give them the same ingredients. 10 completely different qualities, types, senses, richnesses.
I mean, it's like painting a painting. You're not painting you just want to paint a painting that you love.
I mean, it's kind of trendy now. And I think that people really go to search out these smaller wineries because they're finding that there's a lot more interesting stuff out there.
The people that are going to be the subjects of the show, winemakers, grape growers, salespeople, what kind of show you would want to see so that my buyers will be able to say, well, Michael has all this great access to these. Yes, they are interesting people. I mean, there's no denying Lee Hudson is a really interesting guy.
I mean, you're just doing a product review, just trying to get someone to buy into the idea, right, and finance the whole thing.
Well, one idea might be to have 5 winemakers who all have different styles of winemaking, and to get a very good vineyard.
Taking one block of grapes and then having, you know, various different winemakers making wine from it.
Compare and contrast between one winemaker's passion with another winemaker's passion with the same fruit.
Then at the end, there'd be some kind of tasting panel of industry experts.
In something like that, I think we would come out very, very well.
But you have to have some serious, impartial judges.
Napa Valley's finest wine label maker. And you're also a winemaker.
Yeah, I dabble.
Right.
I know what I'm talking about.
I like following some people around the entire vintage, especially like 5 up-and-comers.
But you know, like in any industry, there's jealousies and rivalries. And
sure.
Those are, I suppose, are great to promote in one way, but they exist and they're fun, and it's no big deal.
It is a friendship, camaraderie situation, community.
Yeah, all these people know each other.
There's nothing I want to do that is competitive, that's head-to-head.
Right.
I don't want people to judge my wines versus other people's wines.
Absolutely. I mean, they don't want anybody to know what they're doing because they think they've got the proprietary means to, you know, make the best wine there is.
For me, kind of a single documentary sounds more interesting than a series of, you know, a reality TV show.
You have all the ingredients here for sure.
Okay.
It's a shame it hasn't happened yet. So I would give away, I'd buy a lot of classic cars, And that would be my incentive, to capture the imaginations of all of the key players, or the players who you think are key. Because you know you can pay them in cars.
It's sweet, sweet. Naked women in vats punching down grapes.
Yeah, we must wrestling.
Yeah, must wrestling with naked girls. I think that's pretty, I could go on that one.
That's insane.
Because I think that you're right in something you said from the beginning, that is that you could present the place in a way not just that's true, but that's also interesting in some way. I mean, really interesting.
And there's a real side to Napa that I don't think is really seen that often.
Happy harvest.
Thanks.